Hjertelig velkommen til utstillingsåpning her på Nobels Peace Center, til åpningen av Hva spiser verden? Jeg heter Bente Eriksen, og jeg er direktør her på Fredssenteret, og det er en stor glede for meg at dere kommer så mange, men først og fremst å åpne denne utstillingen. I kveld dreier det seg selvfølgelig først og fremst om utstillingsåpningen, men vi skal også ha en artist talk med opphavsmenneskene bak utstillingen. Vi skal ha en minikonsert med Farmers Market, som dere sikkert har sett på programmet, og etterpå er dere alle sammen invitert til et lite party hos Alfred bak her. Og så får dere en liten overraskelse underveis også. Og så kommer jeg til å skifte til engelsk, fordi opphavsmenneskene bak denne utstillingen, de er engelske, eller amerikanske. Food. Food is one of my favorite things, and I know I share the passion for good food and for cooking with many of you. Last year, we became aware of Peter Menzel and Faith de Aloisio, their photo exhibition Hungry Planet, and we were fascinated by the project of creating a broad map in time and space of what people eat during a week. There's so much to learn about the diversity of this most basic human activity, eating. From the family who eats meat twice a month, over there, to the ones who nearly eats 30 kilos meat in a week, over there. From a family who doesn't have any dairy products at all, to the ones over there who drink 22 liters of milk each week. It's fascinating. So we want the exhibition to inspire reflection upon why we eat the way we do, and upon the interdependence between food and society, food and culture, food and the economy, food in an ever more connected world, and between food and the environment. And the connection to the Nobel Peace Prizes becomes obvious through the many Nobel Peace Prize laureates who have worked tirelessly to supply people over the world with enough food and take care of the environment, which lends us resources to grow our food. To mention a few, Fridtjof Nansen, Mother Teresa, the Red Cross, Wangari Maathai, Al Gore, and the IPCC, responsible for today's climate report. And speaking about great people, I would now like to introduce you to the brains, the eyes, and the pen behind this amazing project. They have traveled all over the world for 10 years to photograph, weigh, measure, interview, calculate, and reveal what the world eats. Please give them a warm Oslo welcome, Peter Menzel and Faith de Aloisio. Welcome. So in a few minutes, we'll learn more about your work during the artist talk. But just a quick question. What do you think about your exhibition at the Nobel Peace Center?
First of all, I don't really look at it as our exhibition. I really look at it as your exhibition and your exhibition, because I have to tell you, we've mounted exhibitions of our work all over the world. I've really never seen it executed so well. And I applaud the lighting, I applaud the staff and the time that they put into this.
And the families that have cooperated here, the three families who have now part of the Hungry Planet Family Network, which we just really appreciate their participation.
And also the hay bales, which we were not a fan of to begin with, and then we arrived and we realized, okay, you guys were right and we were wrong. So
Good.
I know Jessica's out there going, yay!
Good to hear. Okay. So, but as you say, the families take center stage in the exhibition, and we invited Peter and Faith also to portray 3 Norwegian families. And we are very thankful and proud of the family who took part. The Ottersland Dahl family, we call them the milk family. They're the 22 liters of milk. Where are you? No, you're staying. And then we have the Koreashis. We call them the fruit and veg family. And then we have the Glad Østensen family. We call them the banana family. Thank you all for letting us into your homes and your diets. And we also have some other very special... Well, actually, you're supposed to stand out there. We also have some other very special guests here tonight, the family from Great Britain. So they're over there. The Bentons, we call them the chocolate family. So we just have got a few presents for you all, and thank you for coming and celebrating today with us. So, nutrition is one of the issues you can reflect on when seeing this exhibition, and a topic that is high up on the international agenda. And we all know the value of eating fresh vegetables rather than fatty meat and powdered processed food. But what can actually help convince us to make the right food choices? Here tonight, to convince us, is the distinguished director of the Norwegian National Touring Theatre, actress and former Minister of Culture, Ellen Horn. Ellen, the floor is yours.
Når en liten mus skal ut og gå, må hun se seg for å passe på. Det mange her som ønsker at få en deilig liten musestek til middagsmat. Kanskje blir det meg, kanskje blir det deg, kanskje blir det trallalei. Nei, men Gud, så mange mennesker var her da. Ja, jeg kommer hit på besøk fra Hakkebakkeskogen. I'm from the Hakkebakkeskog. It's not Ellen Horn, I am grandmother, the grandmother. Skogmus, bestemor skogmus, som har hørt at det var noe snakk om mat her nede. And we had a big meeting, you know, in the Hakkebakkeskog the other day. Because in the Hakkebakkeskog, many of my friends they eat each other. Vi spiser hverandre og ferdig med det. Men vi ikke så veldig glad for det, så vi hadde et stort møte her forleden dag. Og da var det min venninne da, som heter Bamsemor, kona til Bamsefar. Hun presenterte da en ny sang som Bente Eriksen, min forgjenger på Riksteatret. Hun har presset meg til å komme ned her også og fremføre sangen til Bamsemor. Og dere kan gjerne være med å synge, men den litt vanskelig for meg som jo en gammel bestemor. Og så har vi fått spilt inn musikken av Kristiansand Symfoniorkester, så den ligger på bånd. Og min kjære venn Stig, han kjører spakene der. Så om et lite øyeblikk nå, så skal jeg prøve å fremføre Bjørnemors sang, Grønnsaksspiservisa. Ja. Den som spiser pølsemat og kjøttmat hele dagen, han blir så doven og så lat og veldig tykk i magen. Men den som spiser gulrøtter, knekkebrød, peppernøtter, tyttebær og bjørnebær og kål og persille, han blir så liten at han etter mange dager hele dagen og så lett i bena at han ikke kan stå stille. Den som liker bare kjøtt og spiser sine venner, han blir så doven og så trøtt og får så stygge tenner. Men den som spiser gulrøtter, knekkebrød og peppernøtter, tyttebær og bjørnebær og kål og persille, han bjasser på den kjenner og får mange gode venner og får like fine tenner som en krokodille. Takk for deg. Tusen takk. Og de skal jeg ta med hjem til Hakkebakskog.
Tusen takk, Ellen. And I want to thank the people who actually should also be thanked. First of all, the Nobel Peace Center staff, who again have managed to put all their efforts into creating a beautiful and I think mouth-watering exhibition, an exciting family guide, and educational program, and a wonderful opening event and program of events during this autumn. You are the best. I also want to mention the exhibition architect Haugen Sohar, who has been responsible for the design of the exhibition, along with the graphic designers at Melkeveien. And as always, thank you to our sponsors Telenor, Hydro, ABB, and the Norwegian Football Association, and the American Embassy for their kind support. We at Nobel Peace Center, we love to celebrate. We're quite good at celebrating, actually. So this time we decided not to settle for one only evening. Tomorrow is packed with events for individuals and families. You can hear many mini lectures. Among them, Peter and Faith will first tell us about their Hungry Planet project and later give a special lecture for children about edible bugs. Kids can also swap their toys in the toy swap shop, make potato prints, be a scarecrow, make a mini greenhouse and a trash city. And I hope to see you all here tomorrow again. Soon we'll welcome Jan Vardøen to open the exhibition, but after that we'll have the artist talk with Peter Menzel and Faith Aloisio, moderated by our director of exhibitions, Liv Astrid Sverdrup. Our favorite Norwegian and Bulgarian band, Farmers Market, will then give a special mini concert before we all move to Alfred's Hage to have some grilled lamb, actually from the family Glad Østensen's sheep farm. Thank you for your generosity. So Jan Vardøen, he's originally a boat builder. He has been an active musician, he's a writer, and not least a restaurant owner. He's been an outspoken participant in the public debate about Norway and food, and is one of the judges in the Norwegian MasterChef series. Please give a hand to Jan Vardøen.
Well, hello. It's very nice to be here. I was thinking I was driving my car last year, or I wasn't driving. My wife was driving because I can't drive. I've never learnt. And the car stopped suddenly on the motorway. And that was because I'd filled it with diesel instead of petrol, or petrol instead of diesel. I don't remember because that's probably the problem. And it struck me that humans are quite complicated machines, but they run on all sorts of different fuel and they don't stop. And looking at this exhibition, I see so many different types of fuel. I've read and heard that the Inuits in the north, far north, they eat the half-digested vegetable matter in the intestines of seals, and they think it's a delicacy. And they do this because it gives them vitamin C. The Aboriginals of Australia, they eat witch-tea grubs, which are basically larvae, and they also think they're wonderful. Tribesmen in Africa eat ants that have been eating honey, and their sweet back ends of the ants are like sweets. Deep-fried crickets in Thailand are a delicacy, and in Norway we eat pizza grandiosa. But one man's meat is some other man's poison. And looking around the exhibition, I've been lucky enough to be here. It's been empty, so I've gone around and looked at all the pictures and tried to identify all the different types of food. And what struck me is not necessarily the differences, but the similarities. It's slightly sad to see large international companies reaching Bhutan or the jungles of South America. You know, we see in certain pictures the encroachment of small amounts of mass-produced food, and then we see certain societies where the food is all mass-produced, and then we see certain societies where the poorest people have the best food because it's fresh and it's local, and then we see rich societies where the poorest people have the worst food because it's mass-produced. And it's interesting to see all the different threads, and we see how the world is still very different, but kind of shrinking into a more homogeneous mass. When we eat factory farmed salmon in Norway, it's been fed with maybe 1 kilo of salmon is used 4 kilos of wild fish, maybe from Chile. So we're actually eating 5 fish when we can only see 1. If we eat locally sourced food, it may have been fed with maize, corn that's come from South America. It's very hard now to tell what is what and what food is what. But on the other hand, this internationality is very positive for us. In England, the national English dish is chicken tikka masala, an Indian dish. In Norway, it's pizza grandiosa. No, but it's really positive to see how the world is giving each other good ideas and good diets. And I've traveled a lot, and I've found that in this age where it seems to be, the world seems to be a dangerous place, and people seem to be unfriendly when you don't meet them. When you finally do meet them, I don't think I've ever met anyone who hasn't been friendly, who hasn't given me food, who hasn't shared their food. And as a restaurateur, my job is to make people feel welcome and to make them feel happy. And I think food is the most basic urge we have. It's the thing that gives us most pleasure. And that's the thing we have to remember. We have to give food to each other. I'm really happy and proud that the Peace Center has asked me to open this exhibition, so I'd like to declare it open and welcome, and I hope you have a very nice time tonight. Thank you.
Blomster til deg. Vær så god. Tusen takk, Jan Varden. Da skal vi rigge om her litt, og så blir det altså Artist Talk i løpet av 1 minutt med vår utstillingssjef Liv Astrid Sverdrup, som skal intervjue Peter and Faith. Jeg tenker at de av dere som synes det blir lenge å stå, dere kan sette det på gulvet, for det er veldig interessant å høre dem fortelle hvordan denne utstillingen blir til.